Welcome back, people, to MG Sports TV. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Massive respect for the support. So the squad has arrived. Technically not everyone. Still a few faces still missing based off the video that we saw released by the Jamaica Football Federation. So technically it seems like not everyone has arrived as yet, but most definitely from the first impression, I love what I'm seeing. So thank you very much again, people, for tuning in. Hopefully you do the good stuff, the YouTube stuff, that is hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're here for the first time. All right, so as mentioned earlier, Steve McClaren's squad has arrived, and this is a talking point that I wanted to do a good while now, but too many distractions. So back on the YouTube stuff. Yeah, back on the YouTube stuff and completely done with the distraction. All right, so the squad that Steve McClaren selected, albeit I strongly believe that we still have a midfield issue. We still have a midfield issue. And McClaren took a big chance when the midfield position is one in which we lack, but it's also the one in which he bring in one of the youngsters in Adrian Reed. Now, I understand the reason for Adrian Reed because he's a CDM, technically a position that a lot of persons, that 90% of Jamaica who watch football knows that that's an issue. So my assumption is that more than likely he's grooming the youngster specifically for that particular position. Nonetheless, it's still a weak era for us. Now, the selection of the squad, I thought that McClaren is more of a attacking minded coach than Al Grimson. And now when I see him selected the squad, it looks to be of somewhat similar type of persons, or the team is going to be deployed similar. Or what do I mean by that? If you look at the defense, we have a bulk. We have a bulk of defenders. And then now we have a little bit more attackers. Just one more attacker than midfielder. So you're going to ask the question, you have to ask the question now, how will we deploy? No, the best part about this is that Cuba, in some sense, I won't say it'll be an easy game, but in some sense, it's a free hit for McClaren. This is a game where McClaren get the ability to stretch his legs and implant or imprint what is ideology, or in some sense, his philosophy based on the team that he has selected. It's the aspect of that is, or the best aspect of that is, the squad arrive on Monday, so we'll have training Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So in all facets, that is saying that he has some time to at least implement something or do something. Now, I do expect, nothing is granted, nothing is given. I do expect us to defeat Cuba. That's the expectation. Now, what I am expecting to see on the day is totally different than the expected result. Now, we have seen under Al Grimson that even when we played some of the smaller teams with less quality, we kind of sit in our low block. That's our favorite thing to do, sit in a low block, defend until you catch a team on the counter. We saw that versus Damrep, we saw that versus Dominica, and you kind of wonder, when are we going to take charge of some of these teams? Now, this is an opportunity for McClaren to fix that. How so? As I said, Cuba would be one of the lower rankings. As I said, so the expectation is that we should beat Cuba. No, it's not just beating Cuba is the thing, it's how we beat Cuba. How we beat Cuba is a big aspect of that. I want to see us playing against Cuba, dominating Cuba, showing our skill set, and just oozing a bit of class on Cuba based on the talent that we have in our squad. And, the reputation and also the ranking. So the expectations are very high. But as I said, playing against Cuba, to me, is not just an aspect of just going out there and getting the win any means necessary. I want to see us dominate Cuba. And the big aspect of this team is there's no player in the team. Is there any? No, all these players in the team are players who have played together. Maybe, as I said, the returning players. And but I just highlight probably just John Russell. Probably just John Russell alone. But I say hasn't been with the squad for a long time period. But John Russell would have played quite a few games. So I think most of the players would have understand how he plays. But the squad is actually a squad full of continuity, which means that they'd have played together for a long duration, which means that the team should look more cohesive. The team should look like a team playing football together. The team should have some sense of, or some remnants of chemistry. We must be at least seeing those things. The team knowing or trying to do something together. But the sit back and defending, I do think it's time now to move from that. Now, positives, I think Al Grimson made us more defensively rigid. So, defensively, I don't think that Steve McClaren has to worry about the team that much. It's now how we can find the right balance between the defense and the attack. And I think the key to that is the midfield. Did we find that specific key? I'm not sure. Could it be John Russell? I'm also not sure on that. I'm not sure if McClaren can unlock something different in the team just by system that he implements. I'm still not sure. That's the reason why I said the first game is going to be crucial. And this Cuba game is going to be a representation of what we are likely to see in the upcoming games, either Nations League or World Cup qualifiers. But this game is very, very crucial for the growth of the team, for the growth of McClaren and the players together. I'm not talking about like the team play on the pitch, I'm talking about them working and bonding together. This is the importance of this game. And as I said, as fans, we want to see some remnants of progression in how we play. Because if I'm being honest, I think a lot of fans are going to be disappointed if we look the same under Al Grimson, versus under, or should I say, forward now coming under Steve McClaren. I think a lot of the fans would be highly disappointed in that. Because at the end of the day, we want the betterment for the team. But we don't want it to look like, say, we just now move forward and them type of stuff there. We look like we can't play ball. At least no. It's simple as that. At least now, make it look like we are trying to play football. In that aspect. But it's a good look. The squad is with the squad arrived last night. As you can see, meeting with the coaches. Everybody, it look comfortable. Everybody looks comfortable. So interesting to see. I think we're not sure when training starts as yet, but it's quite interesting to see if we can get an unlook on that. But midfield, a bit short. Key points cover midfield a bit short where that is concerned. Still defensively rigid. Still has a lot of attackers. It's not just for McClaren to find the right balance. How he can maximize this squad. Anyways, big up on yourself, people. Smash the like button, hit subscribe button, and I'll see you guys again. Until next time, MG Sports TV. We're out. God bless. Boom. Like, share, and subscribe, people. You know what I mean?